ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, scarlet knights of all ages. Especially today's graduates. Welcome and congratulations, you made it. Now I plan to impart some wisdom here, and I can do that because today I can say, trust me, I'm a doctor. When I managed to get out, when I was graduating, after those few easy, carefree years in engineering school, the world was full of trouble. During my college years, we wound down a miserable war in Southeast Asia. We experienced an energy crisis in which people waited in their cars in long lines for fuel. Gasoline prices along the New Jersey Turnpike skyrocketed to $2 a gallon, 50 cents a liter. That would be about $9 in today's equivalent. And let me tell you, that's still a bargain. We were still in the throes of the disco era. The Chevy Vega and the Ford Pinto. Something no designer, no engineer, and especially no lawyer could be proud of. We are now deep in the most serious environmental crisis in human history. I believe you all can avoid this looming disaster, and much as I love my Uptown Funk, I nevertheless hope you all can avoid another disco era, especially the polyester leisure suits. The oncoming trouble I speak of is climate change. It's going to affect all of you in the same way the Second World War consumed people of my parents' generation. They rose to the challenge, and so will you. They came to be called the greatest generation. I want you all to preserve our world in the face of climate change and carry on as the next great generation. Not that complicated. I remember well being at the New York World's Fair in 1965. In the town so nice, they named it twice. There was a large display, a tote board depicting the estimated human population of the world. While we were at the fair, the world's population clicked over from 2,999,999,999 to 3 billion humans on Earth. Around Halloween of your freshman year, we rolled to 7 billion humans on Earth. Then if you had some extraordinary lateral car that could drive on some extraordinary lateral road, you could drive for an hour at highway speeds and be in outer space. Of course, if that road is the New Jersey Turnpike, it would be 4 or 5 hours. But the stark cold vacuum of space is barely 100 kilometers from here, barely 60 miles from where we're sitting today. Our atmosphere is surprisingly thin, barely visible from a distance each time you're in outer space. So that's it, everybody. That's our problem. We have almost 7.3 billion people breathing and burning an atmosphere which is, in the planetary scheme of things, quite shallow. Everything you and I do affects everyone else on Earth because we all share the air. And so that's why our climate is changing. Denying this is in no one's best interest. If you know any climate deniers, I'm sorry. But just try asking them this question. Do you believe that it's a conspiracy of healthcare professionals that is duping the world into believing that cigarette smoking causes cancer? The scientific consensus on climate change is at least as strong as the consensus on smoking. Climate change is a real deal. So hey, deniers, cut it out. Let's get to work. By the way, or BTW, Grown-ups, that's what they mean. That's what BTW means. Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution stipulates that Congress shall promote the progress of science and the useful arts. So let us all ask ourselves if our representatives are getting that done. With all this said, what can we do about climate change? Now, by we, of course, I mean you. As an engineer, I go looking for technical solutions to almost any problem. Transportation efficiency, catastrophic floods, ice storms that knock down power lines, or software to help you or me connect with a potential date. Can we say connect on a commencement? Yeah. At any rate, for all problems, I first turn to technology. Now, when it comes to climate change, wouldn't it be great if technologies could save us automatically? But here in 2015, I don't think we can count on entrepreneurs to invent anything we need fast enough. Presuming that extraordinary global warming mitigation technology will emerge in the world marketplace all by itself, so-called techno-optimism is just another way of denialism. It's another way of living in denial. When I was a kid, vacationing on the Delaware shore, it was a big day when someone spotted a dolphin swimming by. People would stop in their sandy tracks to watch. In those days, it was okay for ships to wash out their bilges, the filthy inside of their hulls, with seawater. Because old diesel engines leak thick bunker oil, the sand on the beach was often heavily streaked with tar. Now, if you visit those same Jersey or Delaware beaches today, hundreds of dolphins swim by all the time, and there's virtually no tar on the beach. People decided that the environment was as or more important than letting any business dump whatever it felt it needed to dump into the water and air. Environmental legislation changed the world for the better. Now, do you know how people of my parents' generation passed those laws, that legislation, those regulations? They participated in the political process. They paid attention. They voted. Class of 2015, you have to vote. For those of you who don't want to participate, don't want to vote, would you please just shut up? So the rest of us can get things done. Right now, it's still too easy for any of us to dump our carbon waste in the world's atmosphere. We are going to need thoughtful, reasonable, fair, and tough regulations. We're going to need a means to enable poor people to advance in their societies and countries around the world. Otherwise, the imbalance of wealth will lead to conflict and inefficiency in energy production, which will lead to more carbon pollution and a no-way-out overheated world. When you all were born, the Earth's atmosphere comprised 0.035% of carbon dioxide. That number is often reckoned as 350 parts per million. Well, today, as you're being graduated, the world has over 400 parts per million. And by the end of this year, it's very likely we'll reach 405 parts per million. You see, it's not the number itself, it's the rate. It's the speed at which we are increasing the number of people and the atmospheric pollution that's killing us. In general, all this means we need to provide two things: electricity and clean water to everyone on Earth. Sooner or later, we're going to have to come up with some amazing new ideas to create or develop more resources to accommodate more people. I want you to solve our legal problems as well as our technical challenges, and dare I say it, change the world! The technical problems are easy enough to articulate, just very, very difficult to actually solve. First, we need a better battery, or a better system of batteries, or some means, chemical, mechanical, or hydrological, to store energy, especially electricity. There is enough wind and solar energy in North America to provide our energy needs many times over, if we just had some way to get it from where we can produce it to where we need it. That means a sophisticated or smart electrical grid. connected to much more efficient transmission lines to create a system that moves electricity from where it is produced to where it is needed, on time and at the right power levels. Speaking of which, it has been recently shown that we may be able to use carbon in another way to produce fresh water from seawater with a fraction of the energy required right now, using sheets of carbon a single atom layer thick, graphene. The seawater's fluid slip length is longer than a carbon atom is wide. Water can slide on through and leave the salt behind. It's wild. If this idea proves workable, you all could use it to provide clean water to everyone on Earth. Just think what else is out there. What other physical or biological phenomenon is just waiting to be discovered or invented or thought of. You all can do this. You all can be the next great generation. You can change the world. By the way, if you do come up with one of these key technical ideas, changing the world will be just a start. You might also get rich. Crazy rich. Like head of a big software company rich. Or head of IKEA guy rich. It is sobering for me, and perhaps more than a few of your parents, to consider that you all, Rutgers University graduates, know more physics than Isaac Newton or Albert Einstein. You know more about the universe than Galileo or Copernicus knew. I can guarantee that significant discoveries will be made in your lifetime that will change everything. In the same way the invention of powered flight or the internet changed the way everyone connects with everyone else around the globe. Your parents, loved ones, and I hope some of you sitting here today will be the ones who make or enable those discoveries. By way of example, imagine this. When I was a kid, no one had a good theory as to what happened to the ancient dinosaurs. Mrs. McGonagall, my second grade teacher, read to us from a book, said they had small brains. So the bats and the rats took all the dinosaur food and the dinosaurs died. Now even she knew that was just lame. So in my lifetime, we discovered the telltale worldwide layer of iridium and the world-ending meteoric impact crater near what is now Chicxulub, New Mexico. It was like science fiction, but it was real. The impact crater created a circle of dust that was bigger in diameter than the world itself. By the way, as a result of that discovery, the air burst over Chelyabinsk, Russia, and the recent near misses of several pretty big asteroids, people are at last appreciating the astonishing threat of a meteoric impact. You all are the first generation of engineers, scientists, educators, foreign policy wonks who can get some humankind to do something about an incoming asteroid. What will be? A kinetic impactor? A solar sail draped over this near-Earth object like a big painter's drop cloth? A swarm of sunlight-powered rock vaporizing lasers in space? Or something we have yet to think of, something we have yet to conceive. The world is counting on you, the next great generation. Along with the evidence of common sense, researchers have proven scientifically that humans are all one people. We're a lot like dogs in that respect. If a Great Dane interacts with a Chihuahua, can we say interact? Yeah. You're going to get a dog. That's all you're going to get. They're all one species. The same with us. The color of our ancestors' skin, and ultimately my skin and your skin, is a consequence of ultraviolet light, of latitude and climate. Despite our recent sad conflicts here in the United States, there really is no such thing, scientifically, as race. We're one species. Each of us is much more alike than we are different. We all came from Africa. We are all made of the same stardust. We're all going to live and die on the same planet. A pale blue dot in the vastness of space. We have to work together. Included with all this stuff about making great discoveries and changing the world, I'd like to take a moment and just give you some advice. This is just plain old advice. Like, if you smell fresh paint, don't go walking under the ladder. Somebody's up there with a wet paintbrush. Wear good shoes whenever you're in a thumbtack factory. Don't try to smoke in the rain. And in fact, don't smoke at all. Now, here's an unusual one. If you're going to get a bucket of water dumped over your head for any reason, untuck your shirt. You might not think it would make much difference. You know, a cotton shirt like this one is hydrophilic. Water is going to stick to it. It's true enough. But a shirt tail, even a water-loving one, directs a great deal of that torrent around your waistband. So you get a lot less cold water in your trousers or your shirt. I'm telling you this not just because it's so obviously useful, but because there's a big idea. Everyone you will ever meet knows something you don't. This is troubling for many of us know-it-alls. Auto mechanics today write computer code and debug software. Cooks understand the use of copper to control egg proteins. Bricklayers have an intimate knowledge of the strength of materials. Respect their knowledge. Learn from them. It will bring out the best in both of you. So far, I've talked about problems and opportunities that are down on Earth. But I remind you all that we must continue to explore space. 100 years from now, humankind will almost certainly know whether or not there was or even is life on Mars. But why not do that exploration now? Just think of what it would mean to biology or even medicine if we were to discover evidence of life, some sort of fossil Martian microbe, some Mars crew, perhaps on that other world. It would change the way each of us thinks of his or her place in the cosmos, our place in space. Recently, the Planetary Society gathered a bunch of experts and determined that we could send a worthy few of you in orbit around the planet Mars in 2033. And you could land a few years later. You could look for life, and you could change the world. Now, while we're at it, I cannot help but remind everyone here and everyone listening that this coming Wednesday, 39 years after my old professor Carl Sagan promoted the idea, the Planetary Society is going to launch our own citizen-funded light sail solar sail spacecraft. We hope it will change the world a little bit by democratizing space exploration. Who knows what people will discover in the future? And by the way, while you're on Mars, I hope you stroll by the Spirit, Opportunity, or Curiosity rovers. Each is fitted with a small sundial that serves as a test pattern for the cameras. Now look closely. On each of these is engraved these words. To those who visit here, we wish a safe journey and the joy of discovery. And that, my friends, is the essence of what it is to be a human. To experience the joy of discovery. That's science. That's what brings out the best in us. That's what makes us a worthy species and worthy of the future. I often reflect on my third grade teacher, Mrs. Cochran, when she told us that there are more stars in the sky than grains of sand on the beach. And there are, by any measure, a lot of grains of sand on a beach. I mean, I wouldn't have expressed it in this way, but I was sort of thinking, Mrs. Cochran, are you okay? Are you high? Have you ever been to a beach? Look left and right, 1,000 nautical miles, there's nothing but sand. When the tide goes out, there's more sand. You shuffle your feet, there's sand upon sand upon sand. So I stood on the beach that summer, and I got to thinking about her assertion. Does she mean all the grains of sand that I can see? Does she mean the one I can't see? By reasonable reckoning, it turns out that Mrs. Cochran was correct. There are about 100 stars for every grain of sand on Earth. The vastness of the cosmos is unimaginable. In that long ago moment, I was paralyzed by self-doubt. I was just a little kid standing on a beach, and that beach is one of many beaches on the planet that turns out to be, in the cosmic scheme of things, pretty small, just a speck, really. Furthermore, my home speck, the Earth, is just a speck orbiting a star that really, considering all the other sand-grained numerous stars, is just another speck in the galaxy of stars. The galaxy, in turn, being another speck among galactic specks. I'm a speck on a speck, orbiting a speck with a bunch of other specks in the middle of galactic specklessness. What I think and feel does not matter at all. But then I thought, wait. I have a brain just this big. My old boss's brain, of course, quite a bit smaller. But with that, you can imagine all of this. You can know the cosmos and your place within it. You can know your place in space. And that is wonderful. That is remarkable. That is venerable. Being a speck is worthy of respect. So class of 2015, here's wishing you the joy of discovery. Keep reaching. Keep seeking. Keep using your abilities to bring out the best in those around you. And let them bring out the best in you. Become the next great generation. You can and you will, dare I say it, change the world!